dangerous than going.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you stay at a place too long, it can be more dangerous than going. Disobedience doesn't always look like rebellion. Sometimes it looks like comfort. Sometimes disobedience isn't rebellion, it's comfort. I'm comfortable here. God is saying move, but you're like, God, I'm so comfortable, I don't want to move. That's disobedience. Because you're not following his spirit. You're not following the cloud. You're not following the fire. You're not following the voice. But then guess what? You'll begin to ask him for things. Why is nothing happening? Why do I feel so frustrated? Why does these things keep happening in my family? He said, because I said move, but you're too comfortable and you're disobedient, but you're still asking me for things. Jonah didn't just run from God. He ran back to what was familiar. He wasn't just running from God. He said, no, I know where I came from. That was a familiar place. God, I'm not going to where you want me to go. And look what happened. He eventually had to go through some things until he said, you know what? I give up. I'm going to be obedient. Obedience is going to happen one way or another. So why not learn to obey before? Israel often wanted to return to Egypt because it was predictable, even if it was painful. They say, did you bring us out here to die? We'd rather go back because we know what we were eating. We know what we were doing. We knew we were in slavery, but at least we knew what was coming. Sometimes you rather go back to slavery than to be free. And God is like, I'm trying to bring you to a place of freedom, but because you don't know everything, you'd rather go back to what you're familiar with.
That's true.
The pain of staying the same is just as scary as the pain of change. You're going to have pain one way or another, so why not have the pain of change than the pain of staying exactly the same?
Amen.
It makes no sense. Imagine trying to drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. You'll eventually crash. Not because you weren't moving, but because you were focused on where you came from instead of where God's taking you. When you glance, God said, look what happens when you glance back. Lot's wife was moving with God's direction, but she looked back at Sodom. He told her not to look back. She was moving forward to a new land, to a new place, but that single glance cost her everything. That woman became a pillar of salt all because she what? Glanced back. Because God told her not to. That single glance cost her everything. Disobedience doesn't always mean staying still. Sometimes it's taking one step forward but looking back, which can nullify your progress. When God says move forward and you decide to look back, what are you looking back for? You messing up everything God has told you to do. When God told Lot's wife not to look back in Genesis chapter 19, 17 to 26, it wasn't just about physically turning her head. It was a test of her heart.